Hey you guys, it's Destiny back here with another video. You're watching the Decimania channel here on YouTube. Figured I would just come up here tonight and do a review for both nights of SummerSlam in the same video. But before we get into that, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new content. Comment down below as well. And without any further ado, coming to you direct from the Decimania YouTube channel, it is your SummerSlam 2026 review. Alright. So, last night was okay. It was fine. There were things I liked on both shows. Would I say this is the greatest SummerSlam of all time? No. But there were some good things on this show, on both nights of this show. So, let's get into it. This prediction, I was very shocked I got wrong. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. I thought for sure Io was going to win that, but she did not. Liv Morgan retains her title. We had the 6-man tag team match between the Bloodlines, Jacob Fatu, and the Usos versus Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys, and LA Knight. This match was actually really good. This is actually a surprisingly good match. And another one that I got wrong. I predicted the Bloodline to win this, but LA Knight and company got the win, which was cool. I mean, yeah, technically Solo is a member of the Bloodline, but not like that. He's not in the faction right now. But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Solo's a babyface now. I don't know, but his team got the win. This was a match I was really looking forward to. Nick Aldis versus Gunther. So I still think there's a chance that this is not going to be a one-off. I really hope I'm right that it's not. I really hope I'm right that it's not, because Nick Aldis did lose his match last night to Gunther. He tapped out. So, he came out to Morning Glory by Oasis. Pretty good song. Actually, it was the first time I heard it yesterday. I heard it on the show, and at first I was like, oh, this is a really cool theme they got for him. And then Wade Barrett mentioned something about Oasis, and I was like, oh, that's cool, he's coming out to Oasis. I want to know what song this is. I really like it. And then someone left the link for it in the comments to the highlight video of him making his entrance. And I looked up the song and listened to it, and it was really good, actually. I'll be definitely adding that to my rock playlist on Spotify. But no, Nick Aldis did lose. Mickie James, his wife, was in the crowd. Former TNA Knockouts champion herself. Nick Aldis, of course, former TNA and NWA heavyweight champion. But on the post-show last night, he handed in his letter of resignation. I guess because he thought that he was out of line with what he did or something, because Triple H ended up ripping it up, being like, no, we want you back as the general manager, which I feel like this is not going to be his only match, because the crowd was surprisingly really into him last night. Like, he can, like, that's what people forget. This guy can still wrestle. He's still good. Yeah, I like the submission trade that him and Gunther were going with last night. Like, they were just trading submissions back and forth, but Gunther finally ended up putting him down. But it was a fun match, and I really hope this is not Nick Aldis' last match in WWE. I really hope it's not. Moving on to the next match. So in my predictions, I actually predicted Nick Aldis to win that match. This, however, was the first match on the card of night one that I actually got right. said that Fatal Influence was going to win over the Bella Twins and Paige. And they did. It was Lainey Reed, JC Jane, and Fallon Henley. So, this I didn't really mention, but I kind of saw it happening. I either saw the Bella Twins turning on Paige or vice versa, and it was the first one. They ended up turning on Paige at the end of the match. Now, Paige is going to have to get herself a tag team partner or something. But, I don't know, maybe she calls AJ Lee back. Maybe AJ Lee comes back and teams with Paige or something. Jeez, it'll feel like freaking 2014 all over again with Paige and AJ and the Bella Twins in the freaking ring together. That gone. Anyway, Fatal Influence got the much needed win. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Both of the title matches were decent. However, I think the match that won out between these two of the world title matches was Roman and Seth. Believe it or not, it was Roman and Seth. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, it was a fine match. It was fine. Randy Orton, we had heard him and Kevin Owens were on their way back. But Randy came back, hit Cody with an RKO, and helped CM Punk retain the title. Not that Punk needed help, but I think Cody still got beef with Randy. Or Randy got beef with Cody. Vice versa. But that was your title match, your WWE title match. Main event. I don't know how long this match went. I really wasn't paying attention to the time. I really didn't notice much in this match. There's a couple highlights. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Hell in a Cell match. The rubber match. I figured Oba was going to win, and he did. Brock ended up actually... This is like a freaking Bully Ray. We've seen Bully Ray do this. So what Brock did, he took the canvas thing off of the mat. Or the ring. And then he ripped off that layer and exposed the boards under the ring. Like the exposed wood. And he gave Oba a tombstone pile driver on the boards. Yeah, where have we seen that before? Bully Ray. But, and Brock had a chair. Oba punches it out of Brock's hands. Hits him with the fall from grace and gets the victory over Brock Lesnar. Brock then gets on the mic and says, Minnesota and all the world that's watching this stuff right now. That's not actually what he said, but I'm trying to keep it a little PG since kids probably watch this, and I am Christian, so I do not cuss. He was like, this is the future right here. Come here, Oba. And he gives him a hug. And that's how night one closes out. I liked that. I liked that Brock closed out night one like that. I liked that he passed the torch to Oba Femi. And Michael Cole said the next big thing is here. He never thought we'd see another Brock Lesnar, but he has arrived. And he was really putting Oba Femi over, like he's the next big thing, and I think he is. But that's how night one ended. I liked the Nick Aldis and Gunther match. I think that was my favorite personally, even though it wasn't like the greatest match ever. It was still probably one of my favorite things, just because, you know, I followed Nick's TNA career and watched him when he was Magnus. When he won the world title, and even though it was kind of, that title reign was kind of sucky, looking back, I remember that whole rise of Magnus, and it was just really fun back then. I wish it would have been done differently, but really cool to see Nick Aldis in a WWE ring. Really cool. I liked the Brock passing of the torch at the end. The Punk and Cody match was okay. Everything on this show was not bad. I think the weakest was probably the opener for night one. But overall, I'd say night one was okay. Probably gonna give it a C, maybe. But let's move on to night two. Let's move on to tonight. This was fun. So this right here, this opener was really fun. We thought it was gonna be. We were ready for it to be Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor in a one-on-one match for the number one contendership for CM Punk's WWE Championship. Nick Aldis comes out and he says, well, seeing as that I'm the new, reinstated as the general manager, I'm adding a third person to this match. And then Gunther's music hits. And we're just like, what the frick is this? Why are you putting Gunther in this? I really hope he doesn't freaking win 2 matches in 2 nights. Gunther did double duty on this show, which I thought that was going to be the spot that Obafemi was going to be in. But that's just me. I don't know. They're probably wanting Oba to win the title on a bigger stage like WrestleMania next year. Wow. But then he says, nope, hold on. The bell's not going to ring yet because I'm making this a fatal 4-way match. Pause, wait a few seconds. Kevin Owens' music hits. Now, we'd heard online that Kevin Owens, talking about the fans, I'd heard that Kevin was going to be back, and we heard that he was training at the Performance Center. I did not expect him to come back this soon. I thought he was going to come back maybe in a couple weeks or a month or 2 or something like that, but I did not expect Kevin Owens to come back tonight, and he won the match. They're clearly going to, I feel like they're going to have Sami cost Kevin Owens the title. I feel like that's going to be what happens, and we're going to get a match between Kevin and Sami at some point. I feel like that could happen. I don't see him winning the title just yet. But Kevin Owens won the match. Pretty good match. A lot better opener than the not the main event, but the opener for night one. Then we had the U.S. title match between not Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin and Trick Williams. They got predicted Baron Corbin to win the title. But he did. Whether I did or didn't, he won the title anyway. Good for him. Maybe they'll use him better this time. That's what happened with Drew McIntyre, because he left, kind of reinvented himself, and then he came back and did a lot better for himself there. Sometimes that's what it takes. Cody, same thing. But yeah. Then we had the women's ladder match for the interim women's WWE Championship. So I had a problem with this going into this and when I was watching this. So I'm fine with them having a ladder match, but don't do it for the interim world championship. Do it for a number one contender spot. Yes, you could have still had Chelsea Green win the match, but have it be for the number one contender spot instead. Because if you don't know how long Rhea Ripley is going to be out, then you should have either, one, had the number one contender match, this match for the number one contender spot, or you should have just had the title vacated and just put up the vacant WWE Women's Championship in this ladder match. I actually would have preferred that, because then Rhea Ripley can have a claim that, hey, I never lost it, and challenge Chelsea Green, which Chelsea Green did win. I was really glad she won that, and I really liked the gear that Charlotte Flair was wearing. For those of you that don't know the story, there was a young fan who Charlotte Flair spent time with. Her name was Scarlett. She had some type of cancer. I don't remember what it was. But she passed away a couple weeks ago, about a month ago. And Charlotte had on her gear tonight. Diamonds are forever, and so is Scarlett, or something like that. I thought that was really, really cool of her to do. And her family was in the crowd tonight. Part of me was hoping, just because of that alone, that Charlotte was going to win, just to give those, that family a happy moment to see their daughter's favorite women's wrestler or whatever win the title. Part of me was really hoping that she would win that just because of that reason. But ultimately, Chelsea won, and I'm fine with it. Good for her, because she deserves that too. If it had to be anybody, it was either going to be Chelsea, Charlotte because of her gear, and who else I think might have won it. I think Tiffany could have won it if she was not holding the U.S. title. I don't really typically like, unless it's a tag team title and a singles title, I typically don't like wrestlers holding two different belts. It's just really confusing. I don't know. That's just me. But Chelsea Green won the match, so good for her. Then we had the Human Monies on a pole match. It was Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. This match just, it was, this is probably the weak part of the SummerSlam Night 2 card. Joe Hendry did get involved and helped take out JD McDonough, as did the mini Danhausens under the ring. Danhausen got his money back, and that's that. Hopefully we can be done with this crap. And Dominic can go do better things in his career. This was a fun match. Penta versus Chad Gable, who was from Minnesota, which is where they were at SummerSlam. Chad Gable versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a fun match. I'm glad I got this one right. Chad Gable did win. He made Penta tap out with the ankle lock. And Chad Gable is your new Intercontinental Champion. Good for him. Good for him, because I remember the whole story with Sami Zayn and then the downward spiral with him wanting to win the Intercontinental title, and he couldn't beat Penta, so he started wanting to know how to beat luchadors, and he went to Mexico, put on the mask, and it was just a fun storyline looking back on it. I wasn't into it at first, but then he started growing on me, and then he turned babyface when he unmasked, and here we are. The new Intercontinental Champion. Good for Chad. His kids were in the crowd. His wife was there. A lot of his family were there. Good for him. That's cool. And then the main event. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. This is built on the fact that Seth and Roman had this obsession with each other, with competing against each other for 12 years, ever since Seth Rollins put that chair in Roman Reigns' back and betrayed the Shield, broke up the Shield. I remember that whole storyline too. Wow. This was a fun match. I wasn't interested in it in terms of we'd seen this so many different times that I was just kind of getting sick of it. But at the end of the day, this was a really fun match. I actually really enjoyed this. I actually, believe it or not, I'm about to say something that I never thought I'd really say. This version of Roman Reigns holding the title is actually pretty fun, because there's no bloodline interference. There's no bullcrap shenanigans. You just had two guys in there, much like at WrestleMania, when you had CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Now you have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The two matches with Jacob were good too. Those matches were really good. Those were good. I mean, daggone. Where was this in 2020 and 2021 and all that? I mean, yeah, I guess looking back now, it's a cool story where he's trying to do it the right way, and it proved it in this match because at one point Seth was down, he was badly hurt, and Roman took a chair, and he was gonna hit Seth in the back like Seth had done to him all those years ago, and then he drops the chair, and he says, nope, I gotta do it the right way. They beat the crap out of each other inside the ring, outside the ring. I think Roman even took a power bomb through the Spanish announce table. Or not the Spanish announce table, but the normal broadcast table. And at the end of the day, Roman Reigns finally has that out of his system. He beat Seth Rollins clean, finally. A couple ref bumps.
Screen curtain
in this
on.
Match, which I didn't really care for, but it was fine. You know, it was a fun match. And
One face centered.
I'm gonna end it here.
Near top edge. Speech off.
I will see you guys later. It was a fun 2 nights of SummerSlam. I think I liked night 2, believe it or not, better than night 1. But I'll see you guys later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Peace. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.
Screen curtain on. Speech off. Speech off. Speech on. HD. Button. Selected. Stop recording video. Button.